Guys, I don't know how you come back after almost catching 50 pounds, 49 pounds, 3 ounces. If you haven't checked out the video, you need to watch the video. The best day of fishing of my life. But I don't know how you come back after that, head out to the same lake, want to check out the same place. Like, you almost have to have zero expectations, or you change your goals. And one thing I'm thinking about, so I've broken 40 pounds out there twice. Once almost hitting 50, and that was that second time. Like, literally the best day of fishing I've ever had in my life. Best. Never gonna be able to do that again. But let me take a sip of coffee and we'll continue. I'm trying to think about goals, because you always need to set kind of bars that you want to jump over when you're fishing, when you're doing anything. I think my bar, and I talked about it last year, is I really want to catch a fish like a big double digit. Like 13 would be great, but I'm talking like 14 or 15. And I think in order to do that, I'm going to have to, focus on throwing some bigger baits, especially when I get on some schools or some positive fish like this one. I know there's a good chance there could be some big ones. I need to kind of take that risk. And it's like, great, I've been down this road. I've caught 40, awesome feat, very cool. But what can I do to step up to that next bar? And that next bar would be literally targeting, not just catching oops, I caught it kind of thing, but like targeting like a 13, 14, 15. So I think we're going to set that as our next goal. And it's not going to be the goal every day. Let me frame that up real quick. I mean, you're not going to catch a 13, 14 every day. Like, every day is not the day to go and hunt it. You might think that's true, and guys who get, I'm going to go. But no, dude. Because in the end, you need to target them based upon seasonal patterns and based upon when the big ones are actually, like, starting to bite. Like, you don't go out there when they're catching pin diggers and it's, like, taking 12 pounds to win, and you're like, I'm going to catch a 13. No, dude. What you need to do is be a little more dimensional and think about what's happening from a seasonal standpoint and target those fish. Like, if they're coming in, if they're pre-spawn and they're eating a bunch of stuff, if they're, like staging up and you got them on a break just outside, if they're wintering, dude, and they're eating maybe not too much, but I've always found in that cold weather in the winter, the big ones eat. So just targeting those periods when there's bigger fish biting, and then trying to juice out that Jagunda mama. So, got a new goal. We'll try it. If you haven't checked out those vids, though, insanity. 2 bags over 40, one almost at 50. We had over a 9-pound average. But check that thing out. We're going to get out on the water, see if we can catch a 14 plus. But it'll be interesting to see kind of the week after, a couple weeks after here, what that spot looks like. See if maybe we can catch another giant. Why not, right? Getting sunrise ball. Too early. Now to see if we've been Guggenized. There are 4 people that saw us on that stuff, and I tried to hide stuff a little. I'm sure it's been Guggenized, but whatever. They don't know how to catch me. Biggin. Fishy, 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 fishy. There we go. Fish on, gentlemen. It feels like a good one. And there she goes. Not huge, but it's solid. These fish freaking tug so hard. What do we have here? Things are starting to look good. It's funny how these fish, I don't know if your fish are like this, guys, but like these fish, oh, that is a good one. As I was saying, I don't know if your fish are like this or if you've ever experienced, God, that's a big one. Dude, I'm getting so spoiled out here. I mean, that's got to be like a 6.5, 7 pounder. I'm the most spoiled individual ever. Okay. A little growth going. Ate it really good too. We're gonna get her back ASAP. What a beautiful fish. And there's a bunch of them right below us right now. But I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it, but basically like these fish don't bite until it gets light. Like, check this out. Like 10 minutes ago, this graph was empty. Now, there's a mega freaking school down there. So I don't get it. Like, if I were them, and I was smart, I'd eat all night long, and no one would ever find me in the light. But they are fish, I guess. Funny how they eat it like that. Oh dear. Only got one hook. And let's go for a roller coaster ride. Four of them together, dude. This is stupid. I think there's something magical about that green gizzard shad color too. Because this fish, I was using that parrot looking thing, that chartreuse and blue. This fish is pulling the boat. And caught like a 6.5, 7. But this fish is literally pulling the boat at 0.2 miles an hour. You coming up or are you going? Come on, come on. Come on. Nice. Oh my gosh. Dude, I think we caught another 9-pounder. Unbelievable. Oh, she had it really good. Guys, look at that freaking toe. Look at that. That's a freaking giant. Move, move, move. $9.3, guys. 9.3. What a beautiful fish. I want to get her back. I don't want to stress these guys out too much. What a beautiful fish. Look at the shoulders. That's freaking awesome. Guys, I got 2 fish this morning. Got that 9.2 and one that's probably 6.5, 7. This place is still showing off. I mean, there's no way that I'm going to catch the way I caught them before, but definitely figured something out here, and I feel so lucky too. But it's all about that crankbait. And I'm not a color guy, dude. But I started off throwing this because the water's kind of murky in that. I call it parrot, but whatever the hell you want to call it. But real bright because the water's kind of dingy. You can see it's super duper foggy out here. Like, you can't see dick. There isn't much light penetration. So I figured bright, you know? Wrong. For some reason, I got her all tangled up, but it don't matter. This green gizzard shad, I think they might be eating. We had a big cold front like a couple weeks back, and I think it might have killed some of the shad or caused some of the gizzard shad to maybe get a little, like how they roll on their side and get loppy. I'm wondering if that has something to do with it, or just the brim or a lighter color right now. I'm not 100% sure what it is. Not a big color guy, but there's something to this right now. and you got fish fast, and they'll eat it frickin' when you're grinding on the bottom, or when you're kind of like bringing it up, and the rod will just load up. And they do the rest. I gotta cast tomorrow. Getting that dumb feeling again. What the hell? That's a big one. I just hit like 3 of them. Oh my God. That's a freaking giant. You see that bog? That's a giant. Oh my gosh. This fishing is amazing. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, the video doesn't even do it justice. These bites are like, it's just like running into like a ton of bricks. It's like little dog versus a bulldozer. And, oh. Hope we can land this one. This is a big one. See how I'm adjusting my drag as I go too. I really play around with it, and I got a good feel for the reel, so that does help, but you really got to be, I'm super gentle. Even Fido Beta was laughing at me a little bit. He's like, dude, your drag is so loose. And I'm like, yeah, but I land most of the fish I hook. Most, not all, but most. This is dutiful. Oh, he snagged. No way. That's not a good sign. Move, move. I knew I was hitting him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Move, Bog. Putting him in the live well for a second. That's a freaking stud. Guys, you're gonna get sick of seeing me, but we caught another. And freaking Joe came over. We're gonna do some charity and hope these boys from Minnesota can catch a giant because they're freaking down there. But we're gonna weigh this fish real quick. Oh, stop, Bo. You gonna get that? Nope. 814. 814. Let's get up there. Guys, that's what big fish look like. That is what big fish look like. I want to show you something here because it's really important. You can see I got 2 waypoints. See 616 and 1889. So I'm like down here right now because I drifted off to catch that fish. Oh, there's another one. They're just down there. But here's the deal. I'm not going to make a cast. I'm going to go put myself the way I caught that fish, and you always want to remember the angles and how you caught them. I was right next to 616 casting that way down towards 1889, and they're set up somewhere down in that, like that circle right there. So I'm not going to screw around, dude. Like, I hit 3 fish. I'm going to go back, line up, make that exact same cast, and hope for the best. But this is, like, the offshore stuff especially, like, with grass, you can be a little more visually, like, cued, but with the offshore stuff, you got to trust this thing. Trust your Lowrance, trust your C-map, and, like, line up. Because, like, the fish are there, they're lined up, it's linear, it's scientific, it's 2 + 2 = 4. They're there, line up, use your graph, and hit them. Like, if they don't bite, you know, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. But, like, when you have them lined up, don't just go and fire around now and act like, oh, I caught a big one, great. Dude, frickin' recast it. There's more than one. So that's what we're gonna do. Boys, we have success. Those right there are little cha-chas. And I'm gonna stick some in their mouth. There's another one. I hit her first, and then she freaking hooked up. This is unbelievable. Pulling the boat again. See a bug? Got another giant on. I mean, what are you supposed to do when they're doing that to your reel? Granted, my drag's on light, but like, chase this one. She's pulling out even harder than the other ones. I mean, this is like musky fishing, man. I can't tell you how many days I would have like paid hundreds of dollars for just one bite like this. I got 3 thus far today. Oh my god. Move, bug. Guys, look at that meatball. Look how fat she is. Oh my gosh. Let's get her on the scale real quick. Oh my god. Guys, caught another tank. Check out that beautiful fish. Oh my god. Stay. No. Stop. 9-7. 9-7, guys. 9-7. How about dem apples? That we got 3 fish for like 25 pounds. This is what we live for. I'm never gonna be able to fish again after this. Guys, this is unbelievable. I mean, this is stupid. We got like well over 30. Maybe we can catch 40 again today. I don't know. Like, it's dumb, and they're chewing on that crank. It's funny because I just texted my buddy David Fido Beto. You guys know him on YouTube. Check him out. And I'm like, dude, it's happening again. We're freaking whacking him. And he's like, dude, you're on the best fish in the country right now. And I don't like getting all like, you know, juicy whatever, but like, there's no doubt. There's no place in the United States right now where they're catching multiple bags over 40. This is the stupidest thing ever. These are the best fish in the country right now here in Florida. Public lake. We gotta get back to it. Wow. Oh, guys. Look at that thing. Jesus. Guys, look at that thing. Guys, I caught another freaking giant. Let's get her on the scale. Stop. No way. 10-14. 10-14. 10-14. 10-14. Oh my god. This freaking stud. Oh my gosh. I thought she was like 6 or 7 pounds. Oh, she wants to go. What can you say about that? We have 30 pounds, over 30 pounds with 4 fish. We get 3 9s and a 10. What is that, 27? That's 37 pounds. If we catch one more fish, we already broke 40 because I got a 6-pounder. Dude, that's 4-0 again. That's 40 again. Third time. This is unbelievable. I can't deal with this. This is just too much to deal with. Right when I got into those fish, I texted my buddy Fido Beto, check him out on YouTube. And I'm like, dude, it's happening again. Like, I know I can't catch what we caught, but it's happening. We're still on freaking, like, giants. And immediately he texted me back. He's like, dude, you're on the best lake or the best fish in the country right now. And I'm like, eh. And then I thought about it. Like, once I got off the water, we're wrapping up the day here. And I'm like, dude, there's no doubt. Like, right now, I'm not saying maybe a month down the road or, a year from now, but this lake right now is probably the best lake in the country or among the top. And now you guys are going to give me hell about, like, not saying what it is. What would you say what it is? It's a public lake. I'm sure somebody will throw it in the comments and that. But it's unbelievable. To catch 2 bags over 40 in 2 weeks, and in total in the past 6 months, I've had 3 bags over 40. That's insanity. Public fishery gets a lot of pressure, actually. And it's not mismanaged. There isn't any vegetation issues like where they're spraying and all that jazz, so that probably really helps. But unbelievable. Now, granted, it took me a long time to find these fish and figuring them out. I put years into understanding my graph and trying to figure out this whole offshore game. And it's a lot simpler down here too. These lakes are kind of bowls. They're not nearly as dimensional as a lot of the lakes you see up north or the TVA and things along those lines. But still, dude, like, that's dumb.
We had 43 pounds. 43 pounds. Like hammers, dude. In 3 hours. It's just unbelievable. It blows my mind. And the only thing I do want to mention a few quick tips, things that really played key. I think we talked about it in some of the last videos, that 12-pound fluoro, being able to get the bait down. But my buddy was talking to me too about, he's like, dude, you cast farther than me. What's the deal with that? And I started thinking about it, and with that 10XD, I'm throwing it a lot farther than him, so the bait's staying down there longer. It's getting down where it needs to be faster, or it's getting down there at the same rate, but it's staying down where it needs to be for a longer period of time. That's what I'm trying to say. Dude, I'm jumbled up. I'm still a mess. But that's true. Two factors. One is the rod that I'm using is a composite rod. He was using more of a glass rod, a lot more whippy. With that composite rod, it's a little tougher to fight fish, and you got to play your drag because there's not nearly as much moderate play in the action, but the tip's a little faster, which means you can kind of flick that bait too. The other thing too, there's a lot of analogies. I'm not a big golfer, first of all. I don't hate golf. I don't not like golf. I don't like golf. It's not like I could care less. I like going to the driving range every once in a while and hitting balls. But I do see a lot of analogies between fishing and golf. And one thing, or that second factor when it comes to making those long casts so that bait's staying down there longer, is form. You're not trying to hit the ball out of the park. You're not trying to drive it 796 yards, because when you try to do that, it never happens. It's all about having the correct form and just letting that do the work. So having that casting form, and I don't think there's really a one right way to do it, but having something where you're following through, you're not overthrowing the bait. I think that's really important. If you have the right rod set up, you have the right line, you're going to be able to sling that bait a mile. And then just use that form. Use that form fluidly. Don't have a jerky motion, and always make sure you're following through. Sounds really stupid for fishing, but in this case, it's really important, because those long casts and keeping that bait down, I can't tell you, you won't understand with the videos how important that is, because I can't catch these fish long lining. These are all casting fish. That's really huge. But that 10XD, once again, the star of the day. I caught a couple 4-pounders, Nico rigging, but whatever. 10XD, grinding it down there and paying attention to where your waypoints are and where you caught those fish, because these are open water fish. There's nothing down there. There might be a little shell in places, but it's just these little 4, 3, 5 pods or 5 fish pods that are swimming around down there, and they move too. So you need to be fluid. They're not going to be in the same place they were at, say, 7:30 in the morning that they are at 9:30 in the morning. And the bite definitely, it fizzles. It's gone by 9:30, 10 o'clock. So being fluid, understanding at that moment, all right, dude, I just caught one on that line. There's probably another 2 or 3 fish with it. I need to make sure I'm lined up once I get done laying this fish, fire in there, get it down there, and make it happen again. But wow. Guys, I don't even know what to say. It's stupid. But I hope you liked the video. Share the video, subscribe, support real fishing. Tell your buddies about it too. If you liked it, if you thought the content was cool, if you liked catching freaking 40-pound bags on public lakes. But I got nothing more to say. So tight lines, and I guess we'll see you back on the water. I don't think I'll be able to do this again, but you never know. So keep it real, boys.